Hello and welcome back. And today we're going to be focusing on how to turn references into a build plan. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to turn inspiration into a clear plan instead of a messy mood board. We'll look at a few high-end websites, call out what works, decide what doesn't, and combine those choices into one structure that you can actually build off of. This is about selection as much as it is about creativity. The goal is to move beyond passive consumption and into active design thinking. You'll hear me weigh options, make cuts, and explain why I'm doing it along the way. The first site that we're going to open today is the Demai. The moment it loads, you're met with a full screen video. The logo is small, and there's a single book your stay button. It feels luxurious because it's focused. For our project, we want this kind of hero, a cinematic background, a short statement, and one clear call to action. We're taking the structure, not the exact content. Clarity comes first. Now, scroll down a bit, and there's a headline with a few sentences. Photos appear around the text like a collage. This breaks the monotony of the hero and it gives the brand some personality. We'll adapt this for our introduction. One sentence about who we are, surrounded by small images of the team or the product. It feels curated without feeling complicated. Below that, the Demai shows another video and a slider of villas. They're pretty, but they add complexity and they don't really necessarily advance the story. So I'm going to skip them. Picking good references means knowing what to ignore. Scroll further down and you'll come to a section about a spa with a headline, a short copy, and a portrait. It's a simple 2-column layout with a singular call to action button. This proves that you can tell a small story with just text and an image. We'll reuse that idea for a section about our values or services. After that comes a packages grid. 3 dark cards in a row, each with a photo, a label, and a short description. It's easy to read and easy to build. We'll use this layout for our offerings. So, from the Demai, now we're taking the video hero section, the collage intro, and the 3-card grid. And we're leaving behind extra videos, sliders, or animations. Next, we're going to open Singer Reimagined. Their landing page uses a split hero, bold text on the one side, and the product image directly underneath it. We don't need another hero section, but we can borrow this idea for a product spotlight later on. So mark that down. Scroll a bit, and you'll see a grid of 4 collections. The cards are large, right here, with lots of extra space. This shows how to extend a grid beyond 3 items while still keeping it clean. Down the page, there's a value section with a big headline, supporting sentence, and a detailed photo. It's exactly what we need. A bold statement, a few lines of copy, and an image. They repeat this layout again with a different line and a button, right? And over here too. We don't need duplicates. We pick the first and move on. The takeaway from the Singer is the 2-column values section and the option to extend our grid if we needed it for some reason. We ignore the redundant variations and mood-only images. Finally, let's examine Portman Properties. Their hero is another full screen video with 2 buttons. Since we already have our hero section, we're going to note the brevity of the copy and move on. Scroll down a bit and we'll find the featured sales section. Now we see 3 property cards in a row. Each shows an image, a small tag, and a price. And you can click the arrows to view more. Right? This is similar to the Demai's packages grid, but with a slider. A slider is this. When you can rotate, it is on a slider. That's what that's called. Sliders can distract and add complexity. I'm sticking with a static grid. Static means you cannot slide it, it's just there. It shows everything at a glance. Now, lower down Portman repeats the 2-column layout, right? And adds a testimonial. We don't need another duplicate, so we skip them. The very bottom has a strong call to action right here. A headline over a subtle background, a short sentence of text, and a singular button. It wraps the page up confidently. Now, we'll adopt this structure for the end of our own page. From Portman, we take the idea of keeping grids static and the structure of the final call to action. Let's skip everything else. Let's assemble our page. Think of the flow like a narrative, right? A hook, introduce, offer, explain, and invite. The hero comes first. So choose a video or photo that captures the feel of your brand. Keep the logo small, minimal, and write a short line that sums up your value and place one button that leads to your primary action. For example, contact us, learn more. Don't overload this section. It's there to set the mood and focus attention. Remember that your hero sets expectations. The media and words you choose here should match the emotion that you want to convey throughout the page and brand. A single button keeps the focus very clear. Next, we're going to use the introduction, the collage idea right here from the DeMai. Write one sentence about who you are and why you exist. Surround it with a few small photos. Let the images overlap the text a little bit. That imperfection makes it human and unique. This section transitions from the broad appeal of the hero section to a more personal story. The collage feeling also allows you to hint at diversity. Show a mix of people, products, or environments. It invites the visitor to look closer and see the faces beyond the brand. So after you've introduced yourself, present your offerings. Use the 3-card grid from the DeMai right here as your template. Each card gets a picture, a title, and a concise description. If your product images are busy, add what's called a dark overlay with some transparency so the text remains legible. This adds depth to the photo and darkens the photo to make the text stand out and readable. If you have more than 3 items, add another row or replicate Singer's 4-card layout that we've seen earlier. Avoid auto-playing sliders. The goal is clarity. At a glance, the visitor should understand what you provide. Think about what you feature here. If you only have 3 key services, that's great. If you have many, group them so that each row tells a story. Use consistent image sizes to avoid visual chaos. Make it consistent. Next, add a values section. This is where we adapt Singer's 2-column layout like this. On the left, write a bold statement about your philosophy or your process. On the right, place an image that illustrates it. Under the headline, use a short paragraph that adds depth. You can include a button like this if it adds a purpose, but keep it secondary and not mandatory. This section is about connection rather than conversion. It explains why you do what you do. Treat this area as more or less of a pause. So after the busy grid, you're giving the visitor room to breathe. The statement should be memorable and the image should feel real. This section is for building trust, not for making a sale here. Finally, end the page with a call to action inspired by Portman. Use a full width background, maybe a still photo, or if your website or brand allows, create a beautiful video like the one we see here. Write a strong invitation like start your journey today or let's build something together. Add one supporting sentence underneath it, then include a singular button that leads to your conversion goal. Center everything and keep it very simple. The last thing your visitors will see is this final call to action. You want to leave them with a clear choice. The final plan is very straightforward. A full screen hero sets the mood. A collage style introduction adds personality. A static grid presents your offerings. A 2-column section shares your values. And a concise call to action closes the page. We deliberately left out extra videos, complex sliders, and redundant sections. By choosing only what supports the story, you make the build easier and the site more premium and clearer. That's how you transform loose inspiration into a plan that you can execute. Along the way, we chose static grids over sliders and embraced plenty of white space to keep things very clear. We humanized the page with a collage instead of long paragraphs. These decisions here make the site easy to build and pleasant to view and use. When you pull from references, ask yourself, why does each element work? And does it fit your story? That's all for today. I'll see you on the next one.